So today we're going to be making a haunted ghost box that would make Zach Baggins proud. What exactly makes this a haunted ghost box, you ask? Stick around and find out. Taking a break from the whiteboard today and heading out to the garage where I will be embarking on a haunted ghost box project. This here is haunted insulation foam. That's what makes it a haunted ghost box. Gonna gather a few tools, very simple. Just need a measuring tape, ruler, a couple razors, marker would be handy, maybe some paper for doing some mathy stuff. Grab some scrap here. All right. So with that, first things first, I need to measure what the heck is the size of this scrap piece that I have, and then I can kind of build off of that. So I'm going to sit here and do a little bit of mathy equation, and while I do that, I'm going to get into where this came from exactly. I had made one of these boxes a few months ago for a gift. I had this little sculpture here of Thing from the Addams family that I made back in 2013, and I was presenting this as a gift to someone, so I was basically building just a haunted box for that. Back to the math, and in the meantime I have since figured out all the numbers, done the little calculator things, and I'm ready to move on. With that in mind, I'm going to mark out all the pieces. This scrap is left over from some Halloween props and stuff, so that's why I had to kind of do the math and figure out what I was working with. So what you're seeing here is I'm just taking a little sculpting tool, and I'm going to carve in very lightly, not to break the surface. A lot of wood texture. A lot of fun doing this. It doesn't take that long. Beating it up, giving the wood grain a little bit of a story, if you will, and flipping it over because details matter. You're going to do the same on the inside of the foam. Next, we're going to chop this guy apart, and after breaking the pieces into individual parts for the box, it's going to be very important. You're going to go in, and any of the sides that you've scored, you want to also add wood grain. Here, I'm going to chop up 1 by 1 inch little squares. These will act as little detail nubs for the roof of the box. And next, I'm going to clean up my space because I am not a fan of mess and I like to keep things tidy. And at this point, it's getting dark out, so I'm going to close up shop, and with all the pieces ready, head inside to assemble. Very simple, going to use a low temp hot glue gun and just 1 by 1 assemble the pieces. Pretty self-explanatory at this point. Got to be careful. I mean, with a haunted box, you really want to use haunted glue sticks because that'll make sure that any haunted ghosts or anything on the inside will stay in there and they can't get out. Very important step. Don't overlook that. I believe there's the same glue sticks that Zach Baggins uses as well. So as you can see here, the box is coming along, shaping up nicely. Here's those little detail nubs. And there's Wiley paying a visit. So I'm going to use 2 of these little pieces, 1 by 6 inch markers, and this will allow me to put the little nubs in their correct position, use them as a guide. There you go. So it fits in there nicely, it keeps it in place. If you were to just go with a box like this, you could actually drive nails in and it'll hold the foam in place and gives a pretty cool prying apart effect. Here are just little spacers for boxes. Gonna glue this on top, extra little love and detail. Beyond that, punch in a few holes for what appear to be nail divots. This will also give an added layer of effect to your box, making it a little more fun and believable. It'll definitely fool the spirits. And there you have it. You've got your box ready to paint. Going to use start off with a dark haunted base. This is haunted paint I'm using, of course. Now, well, I'm sorry, it's not haunted paint. It's blessed paint. I catch myself here. Blessed paint, blessed by the Pope. And you're going to start with a base coat here. This will make sure that everything is nice and tidy. Get all the little nooks and crannies, and you're going to come in with a wash of blessed dark wash here. This will give the box a little more of a used and homey aesthetic. Haunted washes are blessed washes, I used to say. Geez, get your words straight. It's very important in a haunted box because this is another containment agent for anything haunted you might have inside. Hit those wood grains. Make sure that it feels a little more like real wood. Just a little bit of a wet wash on here. You can see how it's coming together. It feels a little more like aged wood. Give it a few little splashy splash, drippy drips, oozing things, evil that's tried to leak out but got nowhere. Next, we're going to come in with a holy dry brush. This is going to really accent that box and make it stand out on your shelf. So it'll look pretty well. The demons inside are furious that they can't get out. Hit the edges. Bring this box's story to life a little bit. Look at that. It's like a Bob Ross painting, but haunted. Coming to life before your very eyes. And so with that, there you go. It's looking pretty good. Gonna dig into a few very simple hinges. Got these from Home Depot, $3 a piece. Now, the front hinge I could only find it in a black metal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match the two. I'm going to bring the black metal and introduce a little silver into it. And then the silver hinges on the back, I'm going to muddy those up a bit. Use that holy glue to secure these fasteners in place. No demon's going to be breaking out of these hinges. I'm going to glue the top, set the box right in there. Perfect fit. It ensures that it opens up. Look at that. It looks like cobwebs. Beautiful. Love it. Remove that. Get yourself some nice clean hinges, and you've got a functioning box. Now let's put this lock on here and make sure this thing is almost ready to call finished. So I'm going to secure this hinge in, front locking hinge, and voila, we're done. Got to add the front lock bit in, and from here we're going to secure it with the screws. Now you're screwing into haunted foam, and this is more an aesthetic thing, but it does add a little bit of extra structural integrity should the holy glue break off from the haunted foam. Gonna weather them up a little bit, give it some last minute touch-ups, and there you go. You've created a haunted box, and at the end of the day, you can see, and it's got a very nice whiskey tone to it. Look inside if you dare. Don't look too long. Close that sucker up. Close the hinge and lock it up. Voila. Haunted ghost box. Looks great on shelves. If you've got a small child, you can put it in their room, feel safe while the child sleeps. But remember, don't peer in too long or you might just get stuck inside.